Victoria?
The rooms are from 4.6 meters and 5 meters.
Exactly, okay. So that's the length and the width. What else stands out to you? Taylor?
The height of 2.2 meters.
Good. So those walls are 2.2 meters high. What else? Ethan?
Painting the walls and ceiling with both paints.
Okay, and what does that mean?
Well, that's
Well, no, you're on the right track, but what is he not painting?
the floor.
Yeah, okay, so there's no floor. Usually you put carpet there or tile. Okay. What else? Yep.
A 4-liter pail covers 30 meters.
Good. So we know, right? We know how much one pail, 30 meters squared. Don't be concerned about this 4-liter jazz. That's just to mess you up. You actually don't need that number. Okay. It's just how much paint's in the pail. The question is, how many pails of paint will you have to buy? It doesn't say what's the volume. Okay, so we don't need to worry about how many liters he has to buy. Okay, there's one other thing you're missing. Yep,
There's 2 rooms.
awesome. Okay, his room and his brother's, so there's 2 rooms. Okay, so a couple different ways of calculating. Somewhere along the line, you're going to have to multiply by 2. What I like to do is I like to find the surface area first. Okay, then times it by 2. Okay. Then after that, you can find out how many pails. Okay. Then after that, multiply the number of pails by the cost. Okay. So let's start by surface area of one room. Okay. So helpful to draw this. Go up, over, just chalk. Okay. Kind of rectangular prism. Drawing a diagram often helps us. So we'll say one is 4.6 and the other one is 5.8 and we have a height of 2.2. Okay. Now one thing that's also important is it's the walls and ceiling that we're assuming are all going to be the same color. That's unusual too. What do you usually do with the ceiling? Yeah, paint it white, right? Usually you paint it white. But some people paint the ceiling different colors. That's possible, right? That's what happened in my last house. I had to repaint it white because someone painted it brown. Okay, so find the surface area needed. Go. Find the surface area of one room, times it by 2. So this here is the total surface area. It's best to double that. So now we have to answer the question, how many pails? Right, how many pails? So if we have 144.88 meters squared, each pail covers 30 meters squared. So we need to do a division because how many pails is essentially asking us how many groups of 30 meters squared are in 144.88. So this is a direct division question, right? That's what we learned how to answer back in grade 4. You know, how many groups of 3 are in 12? How many groups of 7 are in 56? Okay? And so we simply divide. And we get 4.829 pails. So we need 4.829 pails. All right. How come some of you are looking at me like I'm weird? What's going on? Why?
Well, you can't really get 8 to 10.
Good, and that's exactly what you should be thinking. You can't go to the store and buy 0.8 of a pail. Okay, so we're going to have to round this to a whole number. 5 pails. What if this was 4.1? What would you round it to? Yeah. Really? So what spot on the wall are you not going to paint? Right? That's the common response. 4.1 means, and if you round down, you do not have enough. So no matter what, you would always round up. Okay, so always double check. Don't give the quick rounding answer because that's what we're used to. Okay, so you'd have to round up. Good. So we need 5 pails, 5 times the cost. Okay, always the amount. Just like when you went to the candy store, if you bought 5 pieces of gum, you would take the amount that you bought times the cost. We do that all the time. Okay, so 5 pails times 42 bucks a pail. What does that equal? Oops. $212. $212.5. Awesome. Is it awesome? Nope. Mr. Barker wouldn't like that answer. What should I write down instead? First of all, we're dealing with money, so what do we absolutely need to write down? Pardon me?
The dollar.
The dollar sign, sure. Yeah, we lost the penny, but we still represent it. Okay, so we only lost the penny in circulation. We still have to include that. Okay, your calculator will never put the 0 there because it's not needed on the calculator. But for proper conventional money writing, you need to add that. So you gotta be smarter than your calculator. Quick little sentence, okay? It will cost $212.50. And don't forget to put in a box so Mr. Barker finds it easily and marks it right without looking at anything else. Okay? Any questions? Not bad. Okay. Next. Read the question, underline important stuff, go. So the only really thing that you need to be worried about is this 5% extra part. Okay, and we have a ring, so that's kind of important. Okay, but the diagram really says it all for us. So basically, you have to find the surface area of this ring. Then, we have to figure out how much material, keeping in mind that 5% extra is required for waste. That's because typically when you build stuff, there's always a little bit left over for waste. You know, with boards being cut, things like that. For this one, you have to melt the metal, and so there'll be a little bit left over in the melting pot, something like that. Okay, anytime you build, you always have to buy extra for waste. So, find the total surface area. and times it by 5%. But we'll talk about that after. First of all, let's find the total surface area. How you do this is up to you. What we did yesterday, right? This is totally open for you. But what we looked at yesterday was find the surface area of one cylinder, find the surface area of the other cylinder, add those up, and then subtract the area that's cut out. Okay. So, go for it. I'm going to start with the big cylinder, and then I'll do the small cylinder. Okay. I did it right on the other one. That one. Thanks, Andrew. I feel pretty bad doing this on the calculator, but I'm being lazy today. So we have 100% plus 5% extra. So really we want to figure out what's the 105% value. So we're multiply by 1.05. Okay. So on your calculator, make sure you multiply by pi first. So on mine, I'm going to go 72 times pi times 1.05, then press equals. Go ahead and do that on your calculator. Make sure you know how to do that. Does it say what to round to? No. Let's round to nearest whole number, okay? So 238 centimeters squared total. No, you can't leave it in pi because you're combining pi with a percentage. So you cannot do that. You should go to a decimal. All right? Yeah, maybe it might work out technically, but it'd be better not to for this one, okay? Quick little sentence just to help you make sure you answer the question. Okay, so it causes you to reread the question to make sure that what we found is what we're supposed to find. And then we're done. Any questions? Yeah, me too.
What
Well, 5%, okay, is 72.5, is a very small number. Okay, so what we have here is we have 72, I'll show you, times pi equals that. Now we go times 5%, and that only equals 11.3. Okay, so that's the 5% value of it. So what we need is a total. So we'd have to then add that to 72 pi. So if I go to my calculator and go plus 72 times pi, now I'll come back to my total. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm adding the percentages together, which is causing those two separate numbers to be put together. Otherwise, you'd have 272 pi and 11.3, and you have to put them together after. Okay, so I'm not cheating. I'm doing a little trickery to save myself a step. Okay. Any questions? You're going to see stuff like this today. You're also going to see a lot of different stuff. So you're working.